I just saved hundreds of dollars by switching to Geico. I feel like I'm on top of the world.
Disclaimer, you will not be transported to the top of the world. In the unlikely event you find yourself at the Arctic Circle, seek shelter from the elements immediately to avoid frostbite and or hypothermia. Geico will not be responsible if you find yourself in a cave or crevasse with a lonely abominable snowman, who in all likelihood will force you to play games including but not limited to Go Fish, charades, Chinese checkers, or his personal favorite, Red Rover, send Yeti on over. Geico is not liable for any damages, either physical or emotional.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Don Lebatard.
Greg Cody of the Miami Herald does an annual gala.
The PFPIs.
It's a gala, man.
What does PFPI stand for?
Pro Football Predictions Incorporated, but we just say PFPI.
Stugotz.
Greg Cody's the only one wearing a suit and largely the only one taking this seriously.
No, I think just about everybody but Christopher took it seriously.
That's not true. No one takes it serious.
Don't you dare.
So Greg Cody's wearing a suit. He's handing over a trophy to a family who don't want his trophy, don't want him driving.
He's just now realizing all this.
Just dawned on him how stupid all of this is.
This is the Don Lebatard Show with the Stugotz on ESPN Radio.
Greg Cody, would you be willing to live stream the PFPI Gala? Would you be willing to have your son live stream that? I can almost assure you it will get 50,000 viewers. 50,000 viewers. What is the low end, Stugotz, on what you would put the audience that would crave Greg Cody in a suit with the PFPI Gala's live stream?
I would say, you're asking me the low end? I would say at minimum 25,000 people will be watching that.
I bet we could fill a stadium with people watching that, even though I think it's terrible.
I'd be watching. Sounds like a great event.
I don't think that's going to fly with the PFPI commissioner. We can always bring it up with
You're the PFPI commissioner.
That's correct.
All eyes on you, though, Greg.
What do you think, Chris? Do you think what's happening back there in your negotiations as Guillermo tries to goad you into live streaming the fantasy gala?
Billy says it would be a great idea, and I totally agree.
It's not a fantasy gala. It's the main PFPI, not PFPI Fantasy, which is an adjunct of PFPI.
But it's so exclusive and so few people can actually attend that this is opening it up to the masses. It's like the Oscars, really, for our show.
You should do it, Greg. You get enough viewers, there might be some money in it. You know, money in it for you for future live webcast. ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Drivers who switch to Progressive can save an average of $620. Guest on the Dan Le Batard
is just thinking about how to get money for himself.
Well, so is Greg, trust me. Oh, yeah.
I like the way
I'm trying to think about how to put money in Greg's pocket. That's all.
Thank you.
Anyway, Progressive is putting money in your pocket. If you switch to Progressive, you can save an average of $620. Guest on the Dan Le Batard Show appear via the Shell Pennzoil Performance Line. Here's your SportsCenter update. The Giants named Pat Shurmur their new head coach. He'll fix it. The Browns named Todd Haley their new offensive coordinator. He'll fix it. And finally, a trailer was just released for Dundee, the Son of a Legend Returns. The film is a comedy about Crocodile Dundee's American son going to Australia to get in touch with his roots and search for his missing father. Eastbound and Down's Danny McBride is playing Brian Dundee.
I wasn't interested before, but okay.
The son of Crocodile Dundee. 1-800-Flowers.com always has something fun and exciting to surprise her with. Right now, when you order a dozen multicolored roses for just $29.99, you'll get another dozen plus a vase absolutely free. To order, it's simple. Go to 1-800-Flowers.com, click the radio icon, enter code Dan. For all the latest headlines and information, tune in the SportsCenter on ESPN Radio all throughout the day.
I like Kenny Powers getting some power. Kenny Powers has been getting some Hollywood power, and that Vice Principal show on HBO, while weird, was Danny McBride at maximum Danny McBride doing Danny McBride things.
I'm excited for the Halloween project he's working on. He's taking over the Halloween franchise.
This group of people in Hollywood, Seth Rogen, Will Ferrell, Danny McBride, is that white people funny or is that everybody funny? I'm asking the question as America, splits on demographics along demographic lines. Is that crew, the Seth Rogen, Danny McBride crew, is that white people comedy?
Yeah, that's white people comedy.
Thank you, Roy.
You're welcome.
Put it on the poll, Guillermo, at Levitard Show.
Glad you're here.
The Rogan McBride group.
I don't know. How do you
They're different
answer that
groups.
question?
Those are different groups.
No, but you know what I'm talking
Will Ferrell
about.
and Danny McBride are funny or die.
I know, but Franco,
Rogan's
James Franco. Yes, I know. I'm saying,
Right.
I know they're different groups.
Danny McBride goes in between both crews, though.
The 40-year-old virgin crew, that, Rudd, all of that stuff.
Adam Sandler has his own crew.
Yeah, he
That's
has,
a different
right.
crew.
Chris
That's
Rock
a different
is in
crew.
it. Yeah.
I'm not talking about that crew, and Chris Rock throws everything out of whack.
Everybody's got that one black friend, Dan.
Well, it's Craig. Is it Craig Ferguson or Craig Robinson?
Craig Robinson.
I was asking a question.
I know you were.
I know.
Well, I didn't find you.
I am looking right now on First Take at what I believe to be the single flimsiest report in the history of both ESPN and journalism.
I see it.
I'm maintaining that what I am presently seeing on First Take is the flimsiest report in the history of the company and journalism.
I want to do this job, man.
Below the topic, they even ask the question, how much legitimacy is there to this?
All right, this is the actual headline. Brian Windhorst suggests. He didn't report it. He didn't say it. He's suggesting that the Cavs may be willing to trade Isaiah Thomas.
How much legitimacy do you think there is?
Useless. That's the most useless thing the company has ever done right there. It's in the time capsule. Of course, it's in the time capsule.
Yeah. Oh, the Windhorst report.
The Windhorst report.
That there may possibly be willing to trade someone.
Unbelievable.
It's on here.
Nailed it.
Unbelievable.
Uh-huh.
What kind of report is that? Windhorst, you should be ashamed to have your name on that First Take. You should be ashamed to be putting that on television.
It's not a report. Apparently, it's just a suggestion.
It's just a suggestion. What is that? It suggests they may be willing. Yeah.
That's a solid report.
What, did we overhear him in the cafeteria?
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah.
Did he suggest it to somebody he was just talking to while ordering food?
I want to ratchet it up, okay? I suggest they are willing to trade Isaiah Thomas. How about that? What you got, Windhorst?
Well, here's the other thing about that. What do you mean? Have you seen him lately? LeBron is on his way out the door. Everyone's in play. Like at the trade deadline, everyone's in play except for LeBron. What do you mean maybe willing? Yeah, the building's on fire. You may want to grab some of the furniture that's inside. And seriously, what are we doing on television?
Debating.
Debating
suggestions.
Debating Windhorst, things he may have suggested.
And we're embracing it.
Yeah, we're embracing debate.
Well, what do you think of it?
I think that they may be willing to trade Isaiah Thomas, yes.
NBA is about to become a content factory. Just last night alone, there was so much going on.
Well, let's get to some of that. Let's get to some of the pettiness in the NBA. Long overdue.
I have a list here. Just these things happen in a 24-hour span. Kawhi, he's frosty with the front office and coaching staff of the San Antonio Spurs. Damian Lillard's upset in Portland, and he demanded a meeting with ownership. Kevin Love is being blamed for faking an illness. John Wall and Barea are fighting. LeVar Ball is assistant coaching now in Lithuania.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah. Giannis is devastated that Jason Kidd got fired and he tried to save him. And Kevin Durant and Clint Capella, they're fighting.
Yep.
Do you realize that almost every story there is a story because the Warriors are too good? Like almost everything there. Like Lillard wanting out of Portland's absolutely like, hey, we need 4 of me. Like one of me's not winning bleep around here. Somebody,
right.
somebody
not getting enough attention.
Somebody gets 3 more of me.
So that led to a report that the Blazers were interested in DeAndre Jordan, to which perhaps, DeAndre Jordan has been in Los Angeles for 9 years. This guy on Twitter said he tried to take a picture with Blake Griffin, and Blake Griffin wasn't having any of it. He stormed off, and he was upset, saying 9 bleeping years. What? Huh?
More stuff.
Yeah.
Also happening because of the Warriors.
Yep.
Let's go through this list, Mike. The Kevin Love stuff is absolutely happening because of the Warriors.
Yeah.
No, that's
frustration.
That's happening because of LeBron. That's it. How about blame yourself once in a while? Why is it always someone else's fault? There's no way that meeting happens without LeBron wanting that meeting to happen. Let's blame Kevin Love for all our problems. No. How about you blame yourself once in a while?
Really? Here he is.
Yep.
Once again, Stugatz arriving with no accomplishments to criticize the accomplished.
I mean, listen, man.
There it is. There it
to
is.
say I have no accomplishments is not giving me nearly enough credits. Again, I won Broadcaster of the Year, Miami New Times, Dade County
Readers.
only.
That's big.
Yes. Readers pick.
Yeah.
Reader's pick.
Yeah, reader's
not
pick.
editorial pick.
Right.
The Capella-Durant beef is because the Warriors exist,
Right,
because
right.
Capella said the Rockets are better than the Warriors, and then Durant said, you hear that from guys like Capella. Durant said, usually he's catching the ball and laying it up from CP or James Harden. His job is not hard. When your job is not that hard, you can just come out and say bleep like that.
Yeah. KD's job was hard, and now it's easy, so I don't know what he's talking about.
Am I right on the idea that during a small period of time, Spike Lee was making movies about sort of the idea of, damn, it's hot out here, and crazy things happen when it's hot? And what is happening with the NBA is, holy bleep, the Warriors are hot, man. It's hot out here, and it's making everyone crazy.
The only one I'm not sure has any sort of Warriors ties is the Berea John Wall.
No,
thing.
I believe they're also frustrated because the Warriors are just physically bigger than they are. So I believe they're also frustrated. And the reason that John Wall called Berea a midget on top of, Berea being small is Warriors are too damn hot. It's too hot out here. It's making everyone crazy.
And LeVar coaching in Lithuania.
That one I got no answers for.
It would appear he's just leaving the country because the Warriors are too good, right?
Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
Here comes the money.
Jason Kidd was absolutely fired yesterday because,
The Warriors.
I mean, just look at the Warriors.
Yep.
Optima tax relief. Oh, that reminds me of Alan Thicke, our friend Alan Thicke,
Yep.
friend of the show. If you owe back taxes, it's bad. It's real bad. Government does not like owed money.
Not that Allen owed back taxes.
No,
He
that's
voiced
right.
these spots.
That's correct. He's a notorious deadbeat, that Thicke. Well, I don't know if he owes back taxes or not. He's Canadian. I don't know what their tax situation is over there. Regardless, you can settle everything. And if you go with Optima tax relief, you can pay less than what you originally owed. Mike, you got some fake Alan Thicke back there to tell us?
I did not owe back taxes, and I was a U.S. citizen, Dan. And I've been replaced now by Stephen A., who's not as charming.
Hi, this is Papi. Do you know that my TV show Highly Questionable is not only on ESPN2 every day at 4:30 Eastern, it is also available as a podcast. You can listen or subscribe to the Highly Questionable podcast on ESPN app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Don Lebatard.
Come in here and tickle. Hurry up and tickle him till the end of the
My
segment.
Dr. McGillicuddy said this could be bad for my
for
heart.
the-
Could be bad for my heart.
Stugatz.
Having a heart attack.
Tickle him. Tickle him more. Tickle him more. Right to the end of the segment.
Heart attack in it.
This is the Don Lebatard Show with the Stugats on ESPN Radio.
Guillermo, put it on the poll, please, at Lebitard Show. Would you watch the PFPI Gala that Greg Cody presides over, the annual awards dinner for his fantasy team? Would you watch that on the internet at Lebitard Show?
It has nothing to do with the fantasy team. I keep trying to tell you that. It just doesn't. It's not fantasy related. Although it's a small part of the PFPI Gala. We do tip a nod of the cap to PFPI Fantasy, but primarily it's the main PFPI.
Is there any reason you're talking like Steve Spurrier there? You're just like, we do kind of, nod the tip of the cap.
I didn't know that's how he spoke.
That is.
Yeah, it is.
I'm a Spurrier
You're very
impersonator and don't know
serious.
it.
You're very serious about your gala.
But it gives people a peek inside of your home, of your life, of your family.
Yeah.
I think people are interested in that, Greg.
Well, we're negotiating to maybe broadcast the first 5 minutes of it.
All right.
my
Okay,
opening
I don't want to
remarks,
talk about
perhaps.
this anymore. And now the offer has been rescinded.
That's
now,
fine.
No
I'll do
one's
it- I'll
going
do
to
it on my
televise
own.
anything.
I'll selfie the whole thing. I don't care.
All right. So this is what I wanted to talk to you guys about. At the very end of his Miami Heat tenure, and I want to be careful how I say this because I want to be clear that I don't agree with what I'm about to say, but it was absolutely a belief at the highest levels of the Miami Heat organization.
Right.
that when the Heat were 1-1 with San Antonio, that the rest of that series, LeBron didn't care, wasn't trying particularly hard, and was ready to leave Miami, had already made up his mind, and was just mailing it in. Again, it's not something I believe. I can tell you, though, that it was believed at the top end of the Heat organization, because you look at those stat lines and it doesn't even make any sense. LeBron was great during those finals.
It's why people have a hard time believing the same when he left Cleveland to come to Miami, because he had a triple-double in that final game.
But here's the thing. Here is what I would say to you. I watched LeBron during that Oklahoma City game, and that is what it would look like if LeBron James wasn't trying, but was trying to make it look like he was. It's what it would look like in that game. He didn't do anything defensively. Like, he was not trying defensively. Everything, OKC, yes, Paul George went crazy in that game, but OKC had all the shots that it wanted. That's what, if you were to accuse LeBron of not trying at basketball and trying to disguise it, it would look like that game that I saw him play against Oklahoma City. Now, I am telling you that I don't believe that that was happening during the finals after he decided to go from Miami. The Heat believe that. I do not believe that. But I'm telling you that if he wasn't trying, he can make it look like he is, and the stat line would not betray him. The game is that easy for him.
Right. He can basically put up a triple-double whenever he wants, but no one, you're paying attention to that. That's the stuff that people are paying attention to. We're not really paying attention to what he's doing defensively.
Stugatz, I'm telling you, watching him on defense against Oklahoma City, he was not trying. I've never seen that from LeBron James. He was not trying. He wasn't moving his feet. He wasn't doing anything. That's LeBron James not trying, and that's how Oklahoma City had its biggest half of the season and then duplicated it in the second half and got to 150.
Isn't it a possible explanation that maybe he was ill in that game and nobody knew it?
I don't know. All I'm telling you is that LeBron, it's a fairly amazing thing to say. LeBron James could not try and you wouldn't notice based on the stat sheet.
Yeah, it is fairly amazing. Only because we're paying attention to one side of the courts. And he could deliver that whenever he wants. I mean, that's what I said about that final game against the Celtics.
So that's what I was watching against Oklahoma City goes far beyond a bad defensive team.
Really?
What I was watching,
I didn't watch a second of it.
I mean, Oklahoma City just got whatever they wanted all game. All game. It goes without saying that it's the worst defense I've seen played in the sport this year. But it's not like Oklahoma City was making everything on degree of difficulty shots. Oklahoma City was playing a scrimmage against the Cleveland Cavaliers. That's what it looks like that's what that team looks like when you put Isaiah Thomas, the worst defensive player in the league, Kevin Love out of position at center trying to guard people, combined with LeBron James not trying at all.
Right. Why is that hard for you to believe, like some of that stuff? Like, if the Heat are saying they believe that, they're around him every single day, they believe this is what happened against the Spurs.
Because of how profoundly disrespectful it is to a game that LeBron James claims to love and cherish.
Right, but LeBron James, if you believe that off the court he kind of has an agenda, it's all been scripted out, and he wants to go back to Cleveland, he can't win that title. He just can't do it. He simply cannot win that title and leave the Heat and go back to Cleveland.
But this is what I'm telling you. If you follow down this hypothesis trail of believing the worst in people, and let's just say that LeBron is quitting. Let's just say that that's what's happening right now. That's what we're witnessing. Let's state it as fact. It's what you do if you need everybody out there by the trade deadline because you want to go into the finals with actually something that works. If LeBron James has decided in his head, this isn't good enough, it's not going to be good enough, how do I make everyone get the hell out of here while I'm not committing to the franchise and I'm not giving them anything beyond this year? How do I make them do it? Stop trying on defense. We give up $150 against Oklahoma City. I keep ending up in all of the internet saying most challenging year I've ever had. And at the trade deadline, you've pressured everybody into dump everything here. Get me something for the finals that we're going to figure out the rest of the season.
That's hard to believe because that's legacy damaging stuff. The idea that LeBron would be selective with his effort
can never be
manipulate.
But how can it be proven?
Can never be proven.
You can't prove it.
Exactly. Well, that's what I'm saying, though. But
it can't damage his legacy if it can't be proven.
But teammates know it. What you're talking about might not be something we can see on television.
I know. Well, teammates know it, and Kyrie left. Like, and maybe that's one of the reasons that he left.
Right.
Teammates can know it. Everyone's still going to want to play with him.
Right. I mean, if it's true, Dwayne Wade then knew it in that final season of the Heat, and he's still his best friend, and he's still playing with him right now.
I'm just saying, I know what I'm saying is crazy and conspiratorial. I'm also saying that if you were to be inclined to believe conspiracies, what is happening right now with the Cavs is what it would all look like if you were trying to piece together logical pieces on the worst behavior from someone in power.
I'm so excited because it feels like you're really close to wanting to believe what I've been trying to push on you for many years now.
I didn't believe it with the Heat, and I don't believe it now.
But you're getting closer.
I'm closer than I've ever been.
Don Le Batard.
2,500 12 packs of beer would weigh roughly 24,500 pounds.
So that's 12 tons of beer.
Stugats.
So where does Dirk Nowitzki put that?
Right in his belly.
This is the Don Le Batard Show with the Stugats on ESPN Radio.
There's a question here on Highly Questionable. Did John Wall go too far with his comments about J.J. Barea? The answer to that is, of course. Yes, that's too far. Calling J.J. Barea a midget is too far. However, I would like no one to ever stop an NBA player from doing it again. If you must punish this for public relations purposes, and I understand, we all want to be equal, and it's not nice to be, it's little person now. We don't want to be calling people midgets and dwarfs and garden gnomes, even though the Patriots are winning championships with all of those things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here for a social sports landscape where we allow the politically incorrect stuff. Only as far as it extends to little people. That is where my line is. I understand it's objectionable. There is no disputing that it is objectionable.
Right. Because I'm guessing little people don't feel the same way as you feel.
Correct.
Yes.
Of course. And what I'm saying is it's not kind. It's not nice. But I don't want to live in a world where where John Wall can't call J.J. Barea a midget. That's not a world I wish to work in.
All right. That's fair. I'm with you.
Right. Let's totally change the language. Yeah. Hey, John, knock it off. Don't do that. It's okay if you do that. And just take the fines so we can talk about it. Because you hate J.J. Barea that much. And yet another reminder that all of this is high school. J.J. Barea's retort is nobody likes him.
Right. Yeah.
On his own team.
Playground.
Whatever. Right. Nobody likes him is the retort.
And J.J. is 6 feet tall.
No, he is not. J.J. Barea is the size of a sock.
Is he?
Is, yeah.
Yes. He is not 6 feet tall.
Okay. He's listed as 6 feet.
There's no way he's 6 feet tall.
Just saying.
Listen to me.
You have stood next to him as well?
Listen to me. Well, yes. I've stood next to him as well. Yes, I have. And he comes up to my ankle.
Really?
Who haven't you stood next to?
I mean,
when did you stand next to Gronk? We kind of glossed over that.
At Meat Market on Lincoln Road.
Of course.
I was going to say Panama City.
Daytona Beach. We both urinated into the same milk gallon jug because the lines were too long for the bathroom. We got our ears pierced together.
So Barea, you're saying, comes up, not to your ankle.
I have stood next to J.J. Barea, and I'm telling you, 6 feet, my butt. And that's what he comes up to, my butt. J.J. Barea is, more than anyone in the league, including Isaiah Thomas, deserves for J.J. Wall to hit him with that.
It's John Wall. That's fun. I mean, you merge names, you mix names. I mean, I don't know what's happening.
Could have escaped it if you caught it, but you didn't.
You didn't. I was
well. Stugats was pretty fast.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, Stugats got in there. Stugats got in there real quick.
He's learned. He has to be quicker. You're starting to do this thing where you're correcting yourself.
Yeah, and you just put $1 in there, huh, for that one?
That's all it is. Why? Calling him J.J. Wall, it's an understandable mistake.
It is.
How could that be more than $1?
No, you're right.
John Wall calling J.J. Barea a midget. The answer, correct, is don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
It's the only answer nowadays.
I enjoy it.
I mean, have some respect for the LeBron stopper.
You remember that? What an amazing time to be alive. When LeBron refused to post up that sock J.J. Barea. That happened in the finals.
Mike is shaking his head in a way. He's angry right now.
No, but I mean, it was amazing to watch. In 2010, it needs to be a subject of a 30 for 30. In 2010, LeBron James, the physical force that we would all send to fight the aliens, was totally neutralized somehow by something that would have fit in his pocket.
How?
It's one of the great mysteries of our time. I'm not talking about sports. I'm talking about throughout the universe. It was very confusing. JJ Barea was LeBron was in the post with the ball, and JJ Barea was absolutely guarding his right ankle. And LeBron would not spin and go to the hoop.
Mike, I love the range of emotion there. He laughed at my joke and then thought about it for a minute and got really
JJ
angry.
Barea was the LeBron stopper. That happened in 2010.
And you want a 30 for 30 on just that?
Just that post play. The one post play. Just let people look at the photograph. It's one of the great photographs ever taken. Why would LeBron not just take that to the rim? He dunked one time, jumping over a human being who was taller than Barea. Do you have nothing this segment, Cody?
No, I'm trying to picture that.
It's Dan, Stu, and Greg Cody on ESPN Radio.